Now, get your hips in there. Don't be afraid. It's okay, just get your hips in there. All right, go around in a circle. No, really, I'm telling you, because these next things I'm going to read are so long that you're going to want to just jump off of a bridge, and I don't want you to do that. I don't want to be the cause of anybody's demise. All right. This will be my first time ever reading things out loud. Some of them might sound bitter, but they're not. All right. Do you mind if I run into the other room real quick and grab a white piece of paper that has the set list of... Okay. All right. Today, you got me thinking that you have no drive. You lack ambition. I bet you never had to fight for anything in your entire life. It's useless to try and explain. It's not something I can put together for you. Your entire life has been built upon mediocrity so you can shine like a star among the rough. Every time you have come close to something you want so badly, you back away from the challenge if an obstacle occurs. You shrug your shoulders like it was not meant to be. Stop giving up. You're wasting time. That was the first one. That was a note to myself. All right. Here's another one. If you want to sit down, you might want to do this. These ones are kind of long. I'm finally starting to understand, to flesh myself out here on paper. In my mind, there is a struggle between me and you. Right here on this page is a sheet wrapped around my body. A body lying in a bed, a body lying in a coffin, or perhaps a body bag, a stifling case. It's all the same. That body is waiting to be discovered, waiting to be understood, waiting for God only knows what, and for God only knows what lies between that forsaken sheet. Maybe we all know secretly what lies within that body. It is contained with words we try to say, words we will never say, and words we will never be able to fully translate into words in any justifiable manner. The words are a body shrouded in isolation underneath this sheet, struggling to surface and then once again covered up and sealed behind a constant freeze frame the world has imposed. This barrier could quite possibly be why both words and bodies have become such strange and complicated things. Strange meaning not always right, not always genuine, not always real, and not always trusted. Bodies and words, seemingly pure, can be as fucked up and polluted as we want them to be. The sheet, the paper, the veil, the contraption that puts a barrier between you and me. I could tell you anything, and you could listen, but there is no way of knowing how it is processed after passing through that wall. And this is a wall where the challenge lies. This is where I've had a hard time putting my words here on this page. I could either be a coward and write every pretty and perfectly placed word here to please you, or I can write about the death, the corruption, and the painful ugliness and sorrow that has been left to ferment and simmer inside of my body. I have watched, and no matter how hard you might try to deny it, I see this ugliness reside within your very own body, our body, for that ugliness is a part of me, of you, and of all of us. It's easy to be a coward. People don't want to read shit that reminds them of themselves. They don't want to be reminded of their failures, their shortcomings, and their weaknesses. They are afraid of themselves. They want to forget all of their anger and be dulled by love, the sweet passion of love. Do you think surrounding yourself with love and joy will keep you safe from your own demons? I know that love will never be strong enough to erase the pain inside of me. For love is just as strong as hate, and ugliness is equally powerful to beauty. Fuck the joy and the everlasting goodness that resides in your soul. Fuck the satisfaction of an easy read on your reclining chair. The easy read may temporarily cure you of your own horrors, but it does nothing but push yourself away from the wonderful depth of yourself. Let your demons haunt you. Allow yourself to be open to these words of pain and anger, as I know you can. I no longer want to be afraid to let the true complexity of my mind wander, for I know you too are a wanderer. but you have yet to find your legs. Let us find our legs together, walking away from this barrier that has induced us to rethink, reshape, and redirect in order to slip under the radar of criticism and contradiction. I will not allow the aloof to comprehend without becoming conflicted, challenged, or confused. Your fancy words do not please me. Your systematic rhythm structures, alliteration, and allegories are useless to me. It holds no meaning. Fuck tradition. Fuck the candy-coated sweetness one would expect to drip off the tongue of a senseless lover. It's time for something new. I'm keeping my eyes out for that one moment of honesty, that moment of clarity that comes completely unfiltered, unabashed, and charged with raw human intelligence the most educated man on earth could not have topped. What a rare moment to find. And you may never discover how much you need that connection to get you normal again, to feel alive, to validate yourself within the world, to be human. How my body aches for that connection. That's it. Do you guys want one more or okay. This is an excerpt from a document that I've been working on. It's kind of long, so I'm just going to read about a page of it. I'm not entirely positive where to start with all of this. I feel like my life starts over and over again on a monthly basis. Every time I feel like things are going good, something else is tugging at my sleeve, and then I get distracted and do something else. There always seems to be something in the way of me getting ahead. Maybe I'm just making up these feelings and I'm getting in the way of myself. I guess that would be entirely believable. I'm getting pretty good at this move on, move forward, move away, move back cycle. It seems to be the story of my life. Making ends, making circles, and then tying it all together to start right back where you started. Only the next time pretending to know a little bit more about yourself and the world. Just like all of the other adults do. Really. I swear another adult would hate to admit this, but maybe we're all struggling with our own thoughts and paranoia, always getting the best of us and eating us up inside like little parasites. Because as of now, it all seems the same. One long road with many, many detours, and we all want to arrive where? At success? At happiness? At comfort? I don't think we really arrive anywhere, but these are all things we pass on the way. Success, comfort, happiness, sadness. I mean, if we arrived at comfort, things would be pretty boring for the rest of our lives, wouldn't it? And that's where half of adult America is. Sitting at home, pretending they have arrived at comfort, and trying to hold on to it with two hands as they watch the football game eating artificial cheese chips, basking in their clouded glory. Really, people cut their lives short just to do that. It doesn't make much sense. This girl, Megan, who was my roommate for a few months, told me her theory on all of this. I thought it was pretty right on. When you get at a certain age, we all think in our head we're supposed to magically arrive to this adult state where everything is answered and figured out. The theory of arrival is the assumption that when we grow up, we will have arrived at some point of adult transformation where all those silly problems, apprehensions, and insecurities we struggle with daily as adolescents and young adults magically evaporate into the sun-setting bliss of middle-aged comfort. This is an illusion. There is no arrival. I know it's disappointing, but the real problem is, since there is no magical transformation into adulthood, some pretend their way through this imaginary transformation and become the most grown up in town. This further perpetuates the horrible illusion we call adulthood. I refuse to believe that exists. I think adulthood was the worst idea ever, and whoever is following it should stop now and rethink their lives. Stop trying to fool our children and corrupt our youth. Seriously, I mean that. Grown-ups are corrupting our children. It's quite extraordinary. This is why I think life stories are important. We are all human. We all make mistakes. We don't know all the answers, and we all probably struggle with our self-image to some extent, even though we pretend we don't. We are human. Some people think a strong person should show no evidence of flaw. I think this is crap. How can you connect with someone who acts like a cement wall freshly pressure-washed, free of dirt and grime? I believe true strength is one who can admit all of their mistakes and weaknesses and are not afraid to be vulnerable. These people are like beautiful concrete walls in a 100-year-old building, covered in graffiti with mold-filled cracks. These people, like old walls, can tell stories. They are not trying to hide anything or build a false impression of perfection. They are the dirt and grime because they live for it. And I guess what I'm saying is, to achieve the ultimate state of flawlessness, is to have flaws and accept that, emotionally, mentally, and physically. This is why the life story is important. It's sharing. I am a normal person who struggles every day with living. I am nervous around people. I am embarrassed with some of the things I say. I feel socially awkward even though some people think I'm naturally outgoing. We live these lives together, yet I don't think we ever truly know our friends and neighbors because we don't know where they came from. They don't know what the kids used to call you in high school. They don't know that you were the weird girl who fell asleep in the back of the classroom when people snickered at you behind your back. Really, these things are carried with you for the rest of your life, and it shapes who you are. I just think writing this all down on paper legitimizes the experiences I've had, outlandish or not, and is some sort of a reference for other people who are curious about their own lives. I find other people very interesting. I find other people's choices intriguing and how they came to decide. I find other people's obsessions, compulsions, fears, and inhibitions interesting because from afar, you may not see where they're coming from, and it makes you feel more normal knowing there is someone else with the same thoughts and concerns as you. And for some reason, other people look flawless to me. I become a little bit jealous and intrigued for a few short moments with many people. And then remember that people who look flawless have no openings. They're like large, bolted-up abandoned buildings that you can only admire from the outside. It's just not as interesting as those buildings you can explore. That's just the end of the excerpt, but this is about 119 pages, so I'll stop there.